Okay, welcome everybody. Today is our regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Today is Wednesday, July 24th at 6 o'clock. We are meeting in person and via Zoom at Old Town Hall, 1111 Somerset Ave, Dayton, Mass. You may join the Zoom meeting with the meeting ID 849-4857-2174 and the passcode 228911. And the phone number to call in is 1-646-931-3860. Public input may be provided using the following methods. Contact our office at boardofselectmen@dayton-ma.gov to provide input prior to the meeting. You can also join us via Zoom. This meeting will be played on Dayton Channel 9 and on youtube.com/Town of Dayton. This meeting is being recorded. The listing of matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. Could I have a call to order?
Nicole Mello, present.
Okay, Mark Pacheco, present. So next we're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and if we could continue standing for a moment of silence after. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so if we could remain standing, we're going to have a moment of silence for Armin Collard and Mr. Timothy Rhines. Okay, thank you. All right, so first for appointments, we have 6 o'clock, Benjamin Corville, certificate of recognition. Would the chief like to speak, or, okay, if we have anyone that'd like to speak? Thank you.
Retired Lieutenant of the Church is going to speak. He runs the junior firefighter program here in the fire department.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Fantastic.
coming.
Thank you for having us. I was notified on June 30th, then, that Benjamin and his mother were out for dinner at the 99 restaurant in Fall River, and that he had noticed a young girl choking. Ben's mom didn't know what was going on. Ben witnessed it, saw it, got right up, and asked her if she was choking. And she nodded her head yes, and he performed the Heimlich maneuver and dislodged the item. So I didn't realize it was going to blow up and go viral as it did, but it did, and I'm very proud of him. Junior firefighters have been in Dayton for well over 15 years, and we've had so many great successes, and this being one of them. The American Heart Association had sent me a certificate for Benjamin. It's the Hero Award certificate. Benjamin Colville, in recognition of advancing the mission of American Heart Association in emergency cardiovascular care through a dangerous act in an effort to save a life, we present you this certificate in a letter from the director at the American Heart Association. On behalf of the Dayton Fire Department and the Dayton Junior Firefighters, I'm going to present you with this award presented to Dayton Junior Firefighter Benjamin Corville. Your fast thinking and swift professional actions on June 30th, 2024, leading to the saving of another human being. Thank you for going above and beyond. Congratulations. I also want to thank Chief McGee for sponsoring our program. Again, we've been doing this for over 15 years. Not just me, I have a wonderful team of helpers that help me run this program. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Fantastic. We have a proclamation as well, so I'd like to read it. And similar, I'm going to read the story. On Sunday, June 30th, 2024, at approximately 3:30 in the afternoon, Benjamin Corville went to a local restaurant with his mother. They were sitting at their table when Ben looked up, jumped out of his seat, and ran to a young woman asking, "Are you choking?" She nodded her head yes. Without hesitation, Ben turned the young woman around and started the Heimlich maneuver. He was successful in dislodging the object she was choking on. The young woman then thanked him for saving her life. Benjamin explained that he was just doing what he was trained to do. Benjamin's mother then explained to the family that Benjamin is a member of the Junior Firefighter Program in Dayton. As a direct result of Benjamin Corville's selfless and heroic acts, a young life was saved. Your actions reflect highly not only upon yourself, but on the credibility and reputation of the town of Dayton's fire department and the Dayton Junior Firefighter Program. On behalf of our grateful community, we extend our sincere appreciation. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the great seal of the town of Dayton to be affixed on this 24th day of June 2024. The Board of Selectmen of the town of Dayton. It's signed Peter D. Karen, Chairman, Mark Pacheco, Clerk, Nicole Mello, Member, and Christopher McGee, Fire Chief. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're very proud of you. Thank you. Good job.
Can I say anything? No? No? You didn't want to?
Is there anyone else here who would like to say a few words? No? All right. If you'd like to take a picture, we'd love to come up front. Good job, man. Absolutely. Thank you. Would anyone else like to come up? Anyone? No? Oh, yeah.
They're all running away.
Come on, it's the entire fire department, let's go.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, that'd be great. Come on. Come on, Tim. Yeah, we might grow. Mr. Purcell, come on. Come on, represent.
Yeah, all of us in this photo. I'll stand in between you guys. That's my baby.
Very good. Oh, Ben. Thank you. Very good. Thank you to the Dayton Fire Department and Ben and family for coming out tonight. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. All right, so next on our agenda is Elliot Boudreau, Eagle Scout presentation. Come on up. Oh, right here to this podium. Hi, Elliot. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Very good.
I have a presentation on PowerPoint. I have a flash drive for it.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, okay.
Is that something that we can put on the screen? Maybe?
I've never done it.
Okay.
Let me think.
It's also on Google's slides. I shared it with Ms. Kerwin.
If you don't
Leanne, I
mind.
think you can plug it in.
You can plug it into that.
I plugged it in.
Yeah.
I plugged it in somewhere before. Let me think for a second.
Yeah, I think the TV is a
Yeah.
smart TV.
Oh,
All right,
plug
yeah,
into
we'll
the
figure it
TV?
out. I think we can handle it.
I did it somewhere. I had it.
Let the young man show us the way. What's that? Said, let the young man show us the way.
Yeah, maybe.
Does anything look like you could plug it
In here?
We do have,
Yeah.
we do have it in our meeting packages also. Oh, really?
Okay.
Here is the computer. All right.
Let the professionals handle it.
Yeah. You can do that on your side over there? Oh, good.
And that PowerPoint right there, you should just be able to share your screen. That's his PowerPoint.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And now on the Zoom side, just share your screen.
Share.
And then Eagle Project PowerPoint.
And
And then
then
share.
share.
And now they're looking at it now.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing that.
All right.
Liam, can you just minimize the, whatever that is?
Yep.
And maybe you just want to let Liam know when to change the slides too.
Yeah.
So if you want, you can get started.
All right. First of all, I want to thank everyone for having me here tonight at Old Town Hall. This is my Eagle Scout project proposal. My name is Elliot Boudreau from Troop 45, Dighton. So before I start on the proposal, I just want to say a few words about myself. My name is Elliot, and I'm a Life Scout of Troop 45. I'm 15, and I'm entering sophomore year in September at DR. Some other extracurricular activities I participate in include marching band and jazz band. I'm also on staff for National Youth Leadership Training, or NYLT, which is basically a course that is involved with scouting that teaches younger scouts leadership roles like communication and servant leadership. I've also been involved in scouting since around 2016 when I joined as a Cub Scout. And the last thing I must do to achieve my goal of Eagle Scout is to present and lead an Eagle Scout project to benefit the community. So, assuming many of you don't know what a Gaga Ball pit is, it's essentially a very popular game in scouting that is played in this octagon-shaped pit called Gaga Ball pit. And the walls are about 3 feet high, and it's about 20 feet across, and it's usually filled with sand or gravel or clay. Each side of the octagon is around 8 feet long, and there's also a gate for easy entry. The sport of Gaga Ball is a very high-action dodgeball-like game that lasts until one player is left standing. This Gaga pit shown in the picture is actually from Beckwith Middle School, which was built from another Eagle Scout project from a scout in Troop 3, John Lewandowski. So the spot in town that would make most sense to build this structure would to be near Town Hall, where we are now, the Memorial Field. I've discussed my plan with Mr. Kevin Smith, who's the chairman of Parks and Rec. We have came to the conclusion that the best spot to put this pit was to be behind the backstop of the baseball field. Mr. Smith and Parks and Rec has had this idea bounced around their department a little bit before I came to them for this proposal. And we believe this is the best spot to put this because if you've ever played the game, the ball is hit out of the pit a lot. So in case it did get hit out, then it wouldn't go into the parking lot where the asphalt, where cars are. So showing leadership while constructing this pit, if it gets approved, is an essential part of the Eagle Scout project. And with NYLT experience, having taken the course in 2022, as well as having staffed it for the last 2 years, I've learned the necessary leadership qualities for leading others to the common goal, and I can also demonstrate by guiding everyone through the building of the pit. It is also worth noting that I've also taken notes on the exact dimensions and amount of lumber required. For this, I took a trip to the Beckwith Middle School's Gaga Ball pit with my uncle, who was a carpenter. And then we took the exact dimensions on how much lumber we'll need and took very constructive photos of it. So when we actually start to build the pit, we will know exactly what to do. So the benefit to the community, I believe, would be very high because Gaga Ball is a very liked sport in scouting, and I would believe it would also be very popular in the town among youth as well. And as a wooden structure that's not built too far into the ground, it would be able to stand the test of time, unlike the smaller temporary pits, but it also wouldn't be a pain to take out if it was obstructing something. Youth and adults of all ages would be able to participate and engage in this physical sport, as well as build bonds and make memorable experiences. Overall, along with the field, the track, the playground, the gym, the library and garden, I think a Gaga Ball pit would be an excellent addition to the park. So before I conclude the presentation, I want to ask if anyone has any questions or comments or concerns of this project. All right. Thank you, everyone, for having me here tonight. I hope you were able to approve this. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Very good.
Great job.
Yes. So I think what you're doing is awesome, and having this Gaga Ball pit, that's what it's called, it's good. Anything to get children out in front of the TV and outside and playing, I think that will be a great benefit to the community. And I know Eagle Scouts have done so many great projects for Dayton, and this will definitely be one of them. My only question is, are we totally set in stone on behind the cage? I was thinking the best spot might be maybe more in the back of the town hall campus towards where the where folks kind of work out over here.
The green gym,
The
like
green
next to the
gym,
track, yeah.
yes.
My only concern with that is I've heard that there's a new trailhead that might be built there in the future. The idea has been bounced around, so if that is possible, then that would be fine. But just I believe that part might be used for also a parking lot as well. So I wasn't completely sure. That was actually my first idea for the location.
Great.
But after hearing that it might have a little conflict with other areas, I decided the backstop would be a better spot. But anything works.
Awesome. Selectman Mello, what are your comments?
I like that spot just because right now it's kind of like dead space. I mean, there's a good amount of grass there, but there's nothing really to go on there. So I think that's a good space. I like where you mentioned, but I know that trailhead's going on in there. And then I just had one question. You mentioned lumber. Like how do you purchase the lumber? How does this work?
So this would be getting donations from a company, the Gaga Ball pit from Beckwith had donations from another lumber company, and then you can put a plaque or a sign on the side of the Gaga Ball pit with their name on it, saying all donations from this lumber company, so that then they would get a sponsor from this project.
All right.
That's my idea.
Fantastic. Tom, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. So just back to I just know folks stand behind the cage and watch the games, you know. Having worked in town hall, I see that we have there's a lot of overflow there in that spot, and I've seen other events held kind of right there. And I in fairness, I'm aware that there is that trailhead going on. Is there a way we could be creative and kind of have both the Gaga Ball pit and room for a parking lot over in that spot of town hall campus?
So, you and I had a casual conversation about this earlier. That's also within a resource area. So that's probably a challenge.
It's so in an area that's already disturbed, so that's not as big a challenge, but, we could all talk about it.
Behind the backstop, it wouldn't be against the backstop, so the normal people that hang out behind the backstop unsafely can still do that.
Right. Right.
There'd still be space between a gaga ball pit and the backstop itself for people to stand there and watch the baseball or softball games.
Absolutely. No, I think that's great to have it on campus. It makes sense where we have all different ages, frequent camp at the town hall, and, there's enough foot traffic where folks, it'll be well taken care of here, so that makes sense. If we could find a spot other than right behind that
That
cage.
spot behind the backstop's already minimal lighting for early evenings already too, so it's already illuminated.
Right, right. Kevin?
So I kind of steered Ellie in that direction because that, like he said, that was his original spot. But one, it is kind of wet, and two, it's like I feel like even though the state has pumped their brakes on the trailhead, like he'll get it finished, and they'll be like, hey, guess what? Like, we're getting a trailhead.
Definitely.
And then two, as a person who grew up playing baseball my entire childhood, any way to deter the parents from being behind the backstop is a great thing. I think the Bristol Aggie softball players will thank you for deterring their parents from standing behind the backstop. The other thing too is just like a good, nice flat spot too was another reason why we kind of wanted to steer them in that direction, and then just safety too, because even that you kind of on that side too. If the balls are leaving, I'm thinking like balls are going in the woods. I know Selectmen Mellows, takes a strong stance against ticks.
I know, that's the first
So,
thing I
yeah,
thought when you
so-
said in the woods. I was like, don't go there.
But, I mean, we certainly can be, I think if the board is amenable to having Elliot work with myself and Superintendent Ferry, if we can come up with an alternative spot, but if we can't determine it, if he would like leave it up to us to have that as a final
Yeah,
resting
I
place, would be
definitely
okay?
want Ellie's project to move forward, and
Yeah.
I agree with everything, but yeah, I would love to, just if we could give it one more look around campus to find some solution to that. Yes, that would be great. Yeah, that way we can move forward, and, but if we could just give it one last look on campus, and maybe just some sort of communication through the town administrator to the board, that would be great.
Very good.
All right, awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
My last question, Mr. Purcell, building permit, do you think we need a building permit for this, or insurance, any concerns about that?
Well, I wouldn't substitute my word for the building commissioners on that, Mr. Chairman, but if so, the town does have the ability to waive fees too.
Definitely, yes.
So, I imagine our offices would be very cooperative, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, are you willing to work with Elliot on the insurance part, if there is any, or check with insurance to make sure we don't need any?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
all right, awesome.
Just quick again on that. So I think once the project is completed, I mean, because we're gonna treat this like a play structure, we would accept the donation as far as, to accept the donation of
Right.
the Gaga pulpit, and then it should be blanketed for insurance coverage for use. So I just wanna be, are you asking as far as
More of the
insurance?
construction of the
Okay.
pit, right, they'll be working
All
on
right, I just wanted to
campus.
ask
Yeah,
that, 'cause I
yeah.
wasn't sure.
Perfect. All right, thank you, I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that, we accept, Elliot's Eagle Scout presentation plan.
Would you be willing to amend it to add that we,
I would like to add that, Mr. Ferry and, Kevin will look to see if there's, another space, and if not, we'll use the one that was presented tonight.
I'll step down and second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much, good job.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much
For
for
what you're doing.
coming. You had a great presentation.
You really did.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah, feel free to grab that.
Leanne, I think you have to eject the flash drive before he takes it out.
Oh, dear God, how am I gonna do that?
No, is he good? Never mind, he said he's good. Sorry to make you nervous there. You did a good job going through the slides and everything.
All right, next we have review, discuss, and act signs to access no parking bylaw. Tom Ferry.
Good evening. So as you know, we accepted a new bylaw, we amended it. Part of the challenge currently is the William Street intersections with the through side streets, not the dead end ones with the cul-de-sacs and whatnot. So the signs with the through dead end streets, and to sign it, after speaking with the police chief, to sign it correctly, it's 100 signs for all of William Street. So with that, and speaking shortly with Mr. Parcell, administrator, on the procurement, because this was not part of the annual budget. Right now, I have 2 quotes come in. I'm still waiting for the third. That project, just with the 100 signs, poles, hardware, is $9,000. As far as how to pay it, I currently have a line for buying signs. It's not that much, though. Speaking with Serena, our town accountant, there's 3 ways to approach it. We use that line, and we consider one option would be to transfer it now from through the finance committee. Second would be fall town meeting to replenish that. Or third, hit the fall town meeting first, and then if we still need to further fund it, go through the finance committee after that. It sounds like, speaking with Serena, the third option is the way to go. But before I actually make an order, we need to understand what your desires are with this. And if you wanted to wait, we can always wait. But I think we can still move forward and
So
get things
fall
in
town
place.
meeting, that was the third option? Was to go to fall town meeting?
Yeah, hit the fall town meeting, and then hit the transfer if needed through the finance committee.
Okay. So it hasn't been approved yet by the Attorney General, right?
Correct.
So I would think we wouldn't purchase anything until it's approved, even though we anticipate it will.
Correct.
Because it's pretty straightforward. How do you feel about 100 different signs? That sounds like a lot.
It is.
Yeah? How do you feel about, I mean,
Well,
what
that-
was, can you just remind me, because I forgot, what was the main reason for the no parking bylaw? What was the reason that we needed to step
So,
up our
There's
enforcement?
several of those intersections already have some collision aspects to it.
Okay,
And there is some parking violations that adhere to it, but there's no way to enforce it without the parking bylaw.
so it's
So
safe,
it's usually as you approach an intersection, combination with a running stop sign, or if you're looking left and right and your vision is obscured by parked vehicles. So that's why we're doing that. So it's only 200 feet from all the intersections up the side roads, and then also on William Street.
Selectman Mello?
You hit all my questions.
Okay. So it's safety, so we need signs, but really it's 100 signs?
Yes,
Wow.
that's only the ones
Trying
with
to see how that's.
that's only the ones with through traffic. Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep, and that's 100 feet of, we're posting 200 feet away from the intersection, and that's only, the signs are 100 feet away from each other.
okay,
Comes out to 100 signs.
okay. Well, I would defer to, if the town accountant's recommendation was fall town meeting and then a transfer after if needed, I would definitely take their recommendation. Would you be amenable to sometime coming up? You could show me, so I can see this area, because just where these signs are going?
Yes.
That's okay, all right,
Yeah,
it's hard to
It's
picture.
easy to do with, like, the
Yeah.
assessor's map, it's
Oh,
easy
okay.
to do.
All right,
Yep.
awesome.
That's probably the best way to do it, or the near map that we use,
Mm,
yes.
okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion, and I'm gonna add the wait for the approval, for the purchasing of these signs to accommodate the no parking bylaw, after approval, from was it the Attorney General? The
Yes.
Attorney General.
And it would be through method 3.
Yep, we'll go to, fall town meeting first, and then, finance committee if need be.
Okay, I'll step down and second that. All in favor?
Aye,
Aye. Thank you, Tom.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
thank you.
All right, next we have George Nichols, Chief of Police. Appointment of part-time public dispatcher Lexi Katz. Good evening.
Hi.
Hello.
So as we've previously discussed before, trying to build up our part-time workforce, Lexi came in a good recommendation. She currently works in Berkeley and Rainham, all certified. You've been currently working for 3 years now? About 3 years. Lives in Berkeley, so she's local, knows the area, familiar with people, and she came highly recommended for a part-time position with us.
Excellent.
Other than thanks and appreciation, I don't have any questions.
I don't have any questions either. Can you take a motion?
I will.
I'd make a motion to appoint part-time public dispatcher Lexi Katz.
Step down in second.
And then I.
All in favor? Aye. Awesome, congratulations, welcome
Thank you for
aboard.
coming tonight.
Thank you. And if you could see the treasurer for new hire paperwork, that'd be great. Awesome. And the town clerk to be sworn in.
Congratulations, Lexi. Welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Okay, next we have appointment of Special Police Officer Adam Crook and Stephen McKenna. Hello.
To my right is Mr. Stephen McKenna. He's currently retired from the East Providence Police?
East Providence.
East Providence Police. Been working with Steve many years on details on the road. He's been asking to come over for a short time now, so he's very highly recommended and known to all the guys and well, I should say all the members of the department. Mr. Adam Crook, retired from the Mass State Police, put an application in a couple months ago. And I told him once I got around again to putting on more specials to add to the special officers list, I would. So both gentlemen come highly recommended from neighboring communities that they work in Berkeley, I believe. His chief called me, I don't know, about a month ago, so asking if I was putting on any specials over there because he's currently over there right now, but looking to just come to Dayton. So I'm looking to put these two gentlemen on.
Well, thank you for your interest, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for willing to serve, and we appreciate it. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to appoint Special Police Officer Adam Crook and Stephen McKenna.
I will step down in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming up. Thank you. Back with all the cords. We're a dangerous place. Thank you.
Chairman, they look like they came out of Central Casting, doesn't it?
I know, right? Thank you, Chief.
Welcome
Have a
aboard,
good
sir.
night.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Yeah, just a second.
Right, it's there.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yep. See you around.
Yes. See you tomorrow.
All right, now we're on announcements.
The Town of Dayton Food Bank will be held next on August 17th, 2024, located at Town Hall, 979 Somerset Avenue in the lower level. The Friends of Dayton Public Library are sponsoring their second annual golf tournament on Sunday, September 15th at Hazelton Golf Club, Summer Street, Rehoboth, beginning at 11 a.m. For more information to sign up, visit the Friends of the Dayton Library webpage. And that's too long to read.
I agree.
They have excellent food, though, if I could say. I went last year. It was very good.
Absolutely. All right, I will enter public input. Anyone on Zoom?
No.
Right. Man, we really cleared out the room, Nicole.
I know.
All right, town administrators report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In your books, or in your meeting package, there is an email from Chris Ronner from Netrospect. He's the town's IT consultant, with an explanation for the following. The town has been awarded by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts a cybersecurity grant award in the amount of $35,945. And if I may, I needed a translation on this, so Chris was kind enough to provide it. This grant is the Municipal Local Cybersecurity Grant Program. This grant is to facilitate the implementation of two-factor authentication for all users and all PCs in the town. Currently, all VPN remote access users have a two-factor authentication. This grant will cover the licenses and setup costs to implement two-factor login for all PCs at town, police, and fire locations. Two-factor authentication will be required to access any municipal PC. Two-factor VPN will be required for any remote or mobile device looking to access email or remote. I guess the grant application package was put together by Mr. Mullen and as presumably with the help of Mr. Ronner, and who is very excited at the with the award. So congratulations to them, and more on that as we get grant agreements and the project started. Mr. Chairman, at prior meetings, the board voted contract awards in 3 areas, and I just want to make it a habit because to inform you of the contracts that actually go out the door following your votes. Your protocols dictate that once the board approves the contracts, that the town administrator is a signatory and handles the paperwork. I'd just like it on the record that that there was follow-up and the like, especially as an interim. So the cleaning services contract with M&S, a company of Seekonk, I think. I remember that was a 1-year renewal of the contract at the same price. That's out the door. That's done. The town administrator recruitment firm, Community Paradigm, you'd okayed their proposal, their ideal candidate profile, and looking ahead, the town accountant said, if they ever want to get paid, I need a contract in-house. You took care of that at your last meeting. That's out the door. In Granite City, for the work, the scale down work that they'll be doing for us on Main Street for the stormwater portion of the project. In fact, Mr. Chairman, tomorrow we have a Zoom meeting with Holly Roach Robinson. You know Holly well. At Tom Ferry to work out the logistics of procuring the materials. We've got options to pull off of our Sursedge contract list, but we'll be going out, for bid for the entire inventory that we need, and we'll cherry pick, best prices, our bid versus our Sursedge bid. I invited someone from JGPR, our media relations firm, to sit in on that Zoom meeting. I figured I had the 2 project experts there. You would ask, Mr. Chairman, to get some word out to the public on the status of the Main Street project. The board concurred, and so I figured that was an efficient way of getting everybody together in the same spaces, so to speak, to achieve that. So that's tomorrow at 1. We've got a student transportation bid out to bid that Leanne is with a little bit of with just a little bit of direction from me, has handled single-handedly, and the bids are due on the 30th. That's next Tuesday. We've got on the matter of the town and Dayton Water District study. We're processing the final accounts payables, and I'm putting a certificate of project completion together to send to the Division of Local Services, and that will close that whole program out. I've been working on debt exclusion questions, immersing myself in what happened here beginning in 2022, and we'll try and give you an informative presentation at your next meeting.
Awesome.
On that matter. A warning letter to the Cobb's Lane junk dealer has gone out under the chairman's signature, Chairman Karen's signature, and we've got our calendars marked up for a 3-month visitation, follow-up visitation, which the board asked I asked to do. And one more thing. Oh, yes. The Board of Sewer Commissioners asked my help in securing engineering contracting services for the APRA-funded power plant pump station upgrade. It was a matter of throwing an elbow in the direction of the vendor that they've been talking to get to respond and get started. We are, after all, on timelines with the APRA projects. So that's my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Just a couple comments on your report. The cybersecurity grant is very timely with everything going on in the news right now.
Yeah, if you fly Delta especially, right?
Especially, yeah. It's amazing how much we rely on technology. So I think having two-factor authentication for our police and fire and our town hall will be of huge benefit to the taxpayers and the security of, everything we do at town hall. So
Yeah.
that's great. Thank you for keeping us informed on that. I did notice a lot of our neighbors were not beneficiaries of that grant. So kudos to, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was our prior town administrator, Mr. Mullen, who applied for that grant. So
I would say,
And it was Chris as well.
And
The two
Chris.
worked together.
So we're so lucky to have such a great IT and Mike's hard work for us. So that's a sizable grant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your work on the debt exclusion as well. We look forward to that. Updates?
don't thank me till your next meeting, and maybe you won't feel like it.
And I also just want to say, I think it's great to hear that there's work progressing on getting some news out for the folks on Main Street. I think that will be welcome. So thank you for keeping it on the radar.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Any comments?
Nope.
Okay. Selectmen's reports.
I don't have anything to report.
Okay, I have very basic, the MSBA School Building Committee met on Monday. It's, seems to be a very engaged group. We basically we reviewed a document, I can't think of what the name is right now, so I apologize, but it really talked about the intent of the project and the scope of the work. And it really was a lot of brainstorming and strategy on what the new school or renovation of the school could look like. Just to give the MSBA and whoever does the feasibility study kind of a foundation of what we're looking for. So we're moving along. All right. Old business,
Make a motion to table.
all right, I'll step down in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're tabling the appointment of the Board of Health member. So new business, review, discuss, act, job description and posting town nurse. We have the most qualified person to talk about that to my left, so.
So I don't have a ton to change. My hardest thing about stepping down was that I was afraid that all that I worked to implement in the town was gonna be lost. Because prior to my taking this position, it was really just a maven position because it's such little hours. It was just pretty much going over maven. So I was afraid everything I did was gonna be lost, and this was excellent. This took everything that I've done and pretty much put it into a document. I had nothing to do with this. This was all them. They did a great job on it. So there's only some bullets that I want to go over, if that's okay.
Yes.
So under essential duties and responsibilities, bullet 1, 2, 3. Number 3 provides public clinics for flu and pneumonia vaccines. I would just change that to provides public immunization clinics so that we're not kind of boxing ourselves in. The next 2 bullets, I would take those completely out. We don't have a vaccine fridge. We don't maintain our own vaccines. We usually have a partnership with some kind of organization in the community, and we use them. It's just better for Dayton. Dayton is not a community that is huge on vaccines. I maybe get 12 people at my clinics. So for some bigger places like Taunton and stuff like that, it's great. They do vaccines, they can have a revolving fund and make money, but we wouldn't make money, and we'd probably just spend more money on paying for the vaccines and getting the refrigerators and all that stuff. So the maintaining vaccine usage records, I would take that out, as well as the picking up and dropping off vaccines to the Department of Health. That would come out as well. The next one that I would remove was assist Dayton public safety workers with vaccines, just because that's another vaccine one. Other than that, it's all great. Down where it says maintain doctor's orders for vaccines, I would keep that and just change it to maintain doctor's orders as needed. Because there are doctor's orders that you're still gonna have even though you're not keeping vaccines on site. And then for the next page, lost my notes. The next page, and I think that it was kind of covered. I saw a job posting, I don't know if this is a cover letter. They did mention bachelor's degree. I didn't see that on the minimum qualifications, just because you can be a registered nurse and not have a bachelor's degree. And the only reason I'm saying that we would want somebody that did is because the state put out the blueprints for health departments, and that's one of their requirements. And somewhere down the line, they're gonna ask that we all follow these. So we want to make sure that we're already where the state wants us to be.
Yes.
Let me see. Other than that, it was fine, except I had one other thing. Just there was no mention in there about Maven, like under necessary skills or anything, like how long before they have to get on to Maven, like how many months, because I do know nurses that have not been able to pass the test for Maven, and they haven't been able to get on Maven.
Right.
And that's like one of the big things that we need them for. If they can't get on Maven, we can't keep them.
Right.
We need somebody that needs access to that. So I don't know how we want to put that in there, how long we want to give them to be able to take the training and to pass. Let me see if the blueprint says anything about it. I can't remember. The blueprint said Maven trained within 6 months. That seems a little too long for me, just because of where we're at. The training only takes about 2 weeks, if not less. So I was hoping that the board was going to be here so we could discuss how long they think. It's just, I think 6 months is too long since we've already gone all these months without somebody.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, is training available readily, or do
Yes.
people have to wait to get, okay, so
No.
there's really no delays.
And it's
in-
self-paced,
Okay,
so you could do it even quicker. And you can test as soon as you're done. And then the results are pretty fast as well, so
okay,
there's
so
no
that
waiting
supports
for.
your argument for,
Yeah, there's
you
no
know,
waiting for a course to
on the
come.
timeline, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes in other fields, it takes a long time for a class to even
No,
open up.
you make it, especially let me tell you, in the health department, they don't, it's hard, it's usually hard, but this one's not.
Okay, great.
So I didn't know what we would think is a good amount of time to say, for somebody. I would cut that in half within 3 months of being hired.
Okay, that sounds fine, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Just somewhere, I don't know where we'd like to stick that in the job description, it doesn't matter, but as long as they have some idea that they need to pass this, because it's one of the core responsibilities.
I think the language should be must.
Yes, must.
This is contingent on employment.
And there was just one other, there was 2 other things. Another thing that they have to complete is the foundations course, and that's within a year of hire. And the last is I would take up updated and maintain personal immunizations. Anyone that's gone to nursing school has all their childhood immunizations, and we're not requiring anyone to get the yearly flu shot.
Right.
And that's all I had for that one.
Do you have that you can forward to Leanne? And
Yes, I
Karen?
can make it look better, more understandable, yes. I can send that to you tomorrow, Leanne.
That'd be great.
We're so lucky to have your skills and knowledge that.
Well,
we
let
can
me,
make this.
I don't wanna take any credit for this, cause they really did, they
Yes.
did the hard work. It was really easy to work with, and it was like, it was a step up from the one we had before, so, they did a great job.
Absolutely. Well, thank you to all involved. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the, town nurse job description,
As amended. As amended.
as amended, thank you.
Beautiful. I will step down in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so next we have job description and posting of health agents.
I only had one thing there.
Okay.
because they did a good job, and this is mostly for you, because I think they already had a good understanding of it. They put a bachelor's of science, so once again, going back to the blueprint that the state is going to start wanting everyone to be, to have your, it's called your RS. It's a certification they want you to have. To have that, you have to have a bachelor's degree to take that test. So it is important that somebody has a bachelor's degree or has the possibility to move up to a bachelor's degree, so that they eventually can take that test. So just to add in the part, and I'll send this to Leanne as well, is when they talk about being licensed with their RS or their certified health officer, it says preferred but not required. I would put in that something in regards to within 18 months of being hired, because that is, like Jim said, that is a test that comes up at a certain amount of time, and they might not be able to do it right away.
Right.
And then another one is the fundamentals that the nurse takes, they take as well, and per the blueprint within 18 months of hire.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing, and then there's something called Web EOC. This is something that I can't fully tell you what it does, though I monitored it for the last 3 years. But it's a site that we have to use for one of our grants. That's like an emergency preparedness grant that we have. It really is something that the health agent should do, but the prior health agent gave it to me because they didn't like it and nobody likes it. And it's just something that occasionally you have to sign in and do like tests. Different things. So that's something that I'll stick in here somewhere, something that really the health agent should be doing. But other than that, this was also excellent.
Awesome. My only request is that we make it full-time, so 35 hours a week. We had a health director, and it was to 25 and 10, but I'd like to see it go to 35. Just a lot going on with solid waste down the line, and I know there's so many grants that you can get, and I can't begin to speak about the health department. You're so much more knowledgeable than me, but I just thought it would be nice to have them kind of work in lockstep with our office manager for the full 4 days of work that we have.
I don't disagree, but where are the funds gonna come from?
I looked at what's available right now, like what the townspeople appropriated, and I feel that what we appropriated is already generous at 35. If you broke it down to, from 25 to 35, it is.
Now that I noticed, we don't have a dollar amount to this, do we?
It's not, so it's negotiable. I know we
Okay.
have some savings in other lines already this year.
Okay.
But I don't know if you want me to say what we have appropriated, or if not, we can just.
It doesn't matter to me.
So what we've appropriated to that line is $53,505. That seems like a really good salary for 35 hours a week to me. So I think the funds are there.
And you said 35?
35.
Mr. Chairman, what if you said, if I may, minimum 25 hours per week, and that gives you the flexibility to grow it to 35 if you find that the funds and stuff are available?
I like it at 35, just
Okay.
period. We have, most of our employees, I don't know, I think it's, the goal presented to people was eventually if it's the right person and they prove themselves, it will be a department head level position, so this would be the first step.
Can I say something?
Oh, of
Mr.
course.
Chairman?
I'm sorry.
I did start 4.5 years ago at 20 hours, and then my hours went to 24, and then they went to 35.
A lot's changed in 4 years, I like it at 35.
Yes.
Yep. Could you do your job now in 20 hours a week?
No.
No.
Absolutely.
So everything's gotten more complicated, and we have so many pressing issues ahead of the town, and one of the biggest ones is solid waste. So we could put that in the hands of, let's say, a town administrator who has so many things on their plate, and a solid waste committee meets once a month, but we could have this person for 35 hours a week that could really focus, and this person could bring in grants and money and really prove themselves. They may not, but if we had the right person, that they could certainly make it worthwhile.
And like you just mentioned, meetings were always an issue before this, for the agent going to the Board of Health meeting or going to the solid waste meeting. They'd have to move around their schedule, and then potentially they weren't getting other stuff done if they were. And I'm hoping that whoever comes into this position makes it more of a health position other than just septic systems and stuff like that. And there's so much more to the health department than that. And we've kind of been a little bit tunnel visioned on that, so I'm hoping, and that will bring more work that they'll need to do.
Absolutely. I'm not sure if it says anything in here actually about working on grants or bringing in grants, because I feel when we talked about our town administrator, we delegated so much to the town administrator, but if the person is given 35 hours, if they worked on,
I know, I could have sworn I
worked
saw
on
something, but.
that would be nice if they at least explored them, and I think every department should from time to time see what is available for external funds.
Mm-hmm.
Could we just add into this, if it doesn't say anything about grants, putting some language in about explores and
Sure.
works with the town to work on grants, you know?
I get the
something
idea,
along those
yep.
lines. Are you okay with that, Selectman?
Yep, no, I think that's definitely, definitely needed.
Okay.
So, are you ready for a
I'm
motion?
good.
I'll make a motion to approve the job description for the health agent, at 35 hours, and then as amended.
I will step down in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the ayes have it. We're gonna move on to sick time donation. We have a sick time donation from Michael Barrowby, who would like to donate 40 hours of sick time towards Richard Mendonca. Thank you so much to Mr. Barrowby. I'd like to entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, to, take that sick time donation for Mr. Madaka.
I'll step down in second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I am an aye. Motion passes. So next we have review, discuss act, conservation ethics disclosure, Megan Kearns, Weston and Sampson. I see Lisa, I don't know if you wanted to speak to it.
Well, I don't know if Megan's here, but the reason why Megan is on there is because she works Weston and Sampson, and Weston and Sampson, of course, you know, is our peer review consultant, right? But I brought to her attention that another coworker or coworkers of hers are presenting as an applicant in CCOMP for Blue Wave Solar. And ironically, we, the commission, asked them meaning Weston and Sampson, to review as-built plans and stormwater stuff for compliance, a certificate of compliance that Blue Wave on Tremont Street had requested. So I suggested she fill out the disclosure. So that's why she's on.
Thank you.
Yep.
Selectman Mello?
I don't have any, wait a minute, sorry. I'm a mess. I don't think I have any questions.
Okay. So I did review this, and I do unfortunately think she's just a little too close to the situation. So she's, as part of the particular matter, I am tasked with reviewing Conservation Commission applications submitted by Blue Wave Solar, who is a client of Weston and Sampson, who is my employer. No problem. But then it goes on to say, I have personally worked on Blue Wave Solar projects at Weston and Sampson. However, I'm not working on this particular project that is going in front of the Conservation Commission. So my thoughts are, Weston and Sampson is such a large company, and there's so many, I'm sure there's many folks who have worked on solar projects but haven't worked for solar projects for Blue Wave Solar, and they just seem a little close to Blue Wave Solar for me to feel comfortable. And it goes on to say, I request a determination from my appointing authority about how I should proceed. So if that is us, I would say, I would respectfully ask they find someone else. And
It's you.
Okay, I would think Weston and Sampson could find somebody else that could review it.
Oh yeah, she's not reviewing it. The engineer that they work with is, but so he should probably do the same thing. It was just I contacted her. Maybe I should contact Jim Riordan, or maybe that's Jim Purcell's. Maybe Jim Purcell could contact Jim Riordan and let him know the situation. He might not realize it.
So,
Jim
anyone,
Reardon's the project manager, and then James Peterson is the engineer at Weston. I don't think they realize, because the company's so big, that this is happening, but maybe they do. I don't know. Yeah.
so anyone who's working on this, I just ask that they can work on solar projects. That's what we want. I mean, that's what we need, but just, they shouldn't have done work specifically for Blue Wave Solar.
No, so let's back up. They are working for Blue Wave in another community, okay? But they are contracted with us to do the peer review. They are our only peer review consultant.
Yeah, right. I know, I don't have a problem with the consulting firm, just, again, I go back to there's so many different types of, there's so many solar projects. They must have someone who hasn't worked on a Blue Wave solar project for another community.
Yeah, and so I think that my suggestion is, I don't know if Jim Purcell could follow up with Jim Reardon over at Weston and have a conversation about who the staff's gonna be, and make sure that they're obviously different staff, and if they need more disclosures or whatever you guys wanna do.
Is that something
But
that you
I-
can do as a conservation agent?
It really, it's not up to me. I mean, I'm not, so, I don't have the it's more you guys. You guys have the contract with Weston and Sampson. Right? The town does. I mean,
This
if
is
you
going
need me
through
to.
the Conservation Commission, then, right? No? The Dayton I am a peer
Well,
reviewer
it
on
just-
behalf of the Dayton Conservation
Mr.
Commission.
Chairman,
Oh,
Mr.
it
Chairman,
happens,
we'll do it together.
okay.
So,
And
The
you-
conservation agent and I will do it together.
respectfully, our
Yeah.
prior town administrator, some of the feedback we got is for departments, he helped a little too much. I think, put things back on the departments. You're an interim town administrator and you have plenty on your plate. Your town administrator report was very long. It's not hard for Lisa to pick up and talk to these folks. I think you can handle it.
Oh, okay, but Mark, the other situation is this. Because Weston and Sampson is our peer review consultant for all departments, this situation's gonna come up with planning as well when they go to sign off as well.
The only
So
thing
that's what,
before us is I am a peer review consultant on behalf of the Dayton Conservation Commission. That's the only thing before us. If it said on behalf of the Dayton Conservation Commission, the planning board, I would say that's perfect for the town administrator, because that's
well, it
has
is
a breadth
gonna
of
come up.
multiple departments. It's only the conservation, you're the conservation agent. It's only affecting your department according to this
Okay,
disclosure.
right, yeah, that's fine, Mark, I mean, right now, it's just, I'm not gonna take responsibility for whether or not Weston and Sampson had any conflict of interest, you know what I mean, that's not my job.
No, I would never ask you to. At the end of the day, conflict of interest falls on the individual, of course, so.
Yeah,
I appreciate them bringing it forward. I just still think they are too close to the situation. So you're willing to go back to them and follow up with us on that? Just for the conservation piece, not for any planning board, or just for what's before the board, Conservation Commission?
sure, but I've been having Jim Digits sign the contracts too, so he might wanna have a conversation with Jim Purcell, he might not understand all of this, but yeah, I will go to Jim Reardon and let him know the situation. I'm sure if Weston and Sampson works with Blue Wave in one other town, they may work with Blue Wave in other towns too. And I don't know if it's come up in any other situation, but I thought they should know so that they could disclose. And I didn't know it was just gonna be Megan, the wetland scientist, that disclosed. I actually thought she would have all the staff disclose. She said specifically at our conservation meeting, she is not going to participate in reviewing this project.
Okay.
Yeah, So I don't know who
It
I'm
says
thinking
here, I
that-
am tasked with reviewing the application, but that's
Well-
fine. That's no problem.
I don't know.
Sorry, Selectman Mello, is there anything you'd like to add?
No,
No?
no.
Do you want to make a motion?
I'm not even sure where we are right now.
Okay.
So I know that, we want Lisa, and Jim to reach out to them. Are we motioning that we're accepting this?
I wouldn't. I would
Alright.
motion the table until,
Oh, wait,
Get more
I'm gonna motion to table this disclosure, until more conversation occurs between, the town administrator, and the conservation agent with the, organization.
I'll
Sounds
second
good.
for discussion. I prefer that most of the discussion happens with Lisa to free up our town administrator, but I will step down and second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next we have
Thank you, Lisa.
All right, you're welcome.
Conservation Ethics Disclosure, Lisa Caledonia, Conservation Agent.
Oh. Never mind.
Almost.
Still here.
Anything you want to add for that, or we'll just, no? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
No. I did get, well, I will say one thing. I did call the Ethics Commission directly, and she helped me with the disclosure so that it was filled out properly. So I don't know if you guys have any questions, but.
I don't.
I don't. I'll make a motion to accept, the ethics disclosure for Lisa Caledonia, conservation agent.
I'll step down in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Thank you.
carries. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, acknowledgements, letters from Pat Gales, 2 donations to the Dayton Historical Commission. Let me find it.
Stacy Spies,
Oh, contract
I
with
did,
F.
yes,
ten
that's
F.
pretty important. Review, discuss, act, Historical Commission contract with Stacy E. Spies, Historical Preservation Consultant. Pat, would you like to speak to it?
I guess, just basically.
Figured you're here, if you want to come up.
Basically, it's a contract with Stacy, who's done our other surveys, to do 10 more properties. We're doing it in smaller chunks this time. So she's gonna do 10 properties, on Horton Street, Old Wellington, Smith Street, Walker Street, and William Street. She'll do all of the inventories like she did before, the Form Bs, if the area form is needed, might not in, such a small survey, and give us all of the information as she has in the past. And the total package is gonna cost us, $2,500. She had quoted $3,500, but she is also working with us on answering questions on some of our other survey forms that we've had, in particular the South Dayton form and Mount Hope, so she wanted to reserve some funding in case we need to do some other work with those. She's really quite interested in Dayton, has learned a lot about Dayton, and has been doing a good job. So, unless you have any questions?
Mello, any questions?
Nope, I don't have any questions.
No. Thank you for your hard work. Would you ever come to a selectman meeting and give us a couple of findings with her prior work?
Oh, yeah.
That would be
yeah,
pretty cool
yeah.
to hear about what we've learned and what we've gotten from her.
Yeah, we
work.
can do that, definitely. Maybe
Awesome.
like September sometime,
Yeah, that'd be great.
when it's not too busy.
Oh, yeah. September's the time. Yeah. All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to, accept the contract with, Stacy Spies.
I will step down in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries. Thank you.
That's a real value, Mr. Chairman.
It is, yes, she's,
10 Form Bs for $2,500 is
that is,
a good deal.
Yeah,
it is.
bargained hard.
Do you want to read your letter to us on the donation?
I can, yeah.
You're here, I think, let's
Okay.
hear from you.
Okay. Dear Selectmen, the Dayton Historical Commission has received and accepted 2 donations under the provisions of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40, Section 8D, which states that the commission, quote, "may accept gifts, contributions, and requests of funds from individuals, foundations," end quote. Bay Coast Bank has awarded the commission $300 through its charitable community giving program. This donation is earmarked to cover the cost of printing brochures for walking tours of Dayton's two National Register districts, the Coram Shipyard Historic District and the Dayton Wharfs Historic District. The Dayton Historical Commission received a donation of $250 from Ms. Heidi Brock to support the Historical Commission's mission of identifying, protecting, and preserving Dayton's historical heritage and resources. These donations are sincerely appreciated by the Dayton Historical Commission members. Best Patricia Gales, Chair.
Very good.
Yeah, good.
Now, will this go, do you have a revolving fund, or do you?
We
do you
have an
know how
account
to-
set up.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Very good. I'll entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2 donations to the Dayton Historical Commission.
Okay, I'll step down in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great
Mark,
night.
before we move on, I forgot to mention something that was important in regards to both the health agent and the nurse. Can I go back to that real quick?
Yes.
It was in regards to where we'll be posting that, other than our own Facebook and online and stuff. I do think that it's very important that we post to MHOA. It's a Massachusetts Health Officers Association. Because I know we really want qualified candidates, and that's where qualified candidates are looking for jobs on
Okay.
there. The reason I don't say for the nurses MAPHN is because I feel like where the health agents go, also the nurses go, and if a health agent sees a nursing job, I feel like they'll have a broader of viewing pool. I don't know how much this costs. So I know we have to take that in consideration, but I really think it's important if we're looking for qualified candidates, this is where they're gonna be looking for jobs.
Absolutely. Could we also do the MMA too? Because so many folks look there too. Would you be amenable?
I wouldn't
to
be
it?
against it, just depending on the cost.
Yeah.
Like if I had to look at costs and I had to pick a place, I would put MHOA.
Okay. I think up to $300 is reasonable. I mean, must have savings with their salaries and with the other members. Do you think that's reasonable?
I gotta tell you, I have no idea, I've never posted
I think MMA is
anything.
$100 a post, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. So I imagine.
I'm
they're
not sure how
probably
much
similar.
they are, yeah.
So, what if we did, what's the name of that one that you just said? MHOA?
MHOA, yeah.
So if we did MHOA first, and if we have anything left over, MHOA, we do MMA for
Okay, that
these
sounds good.
positions, and that could come out of, do you know if we have the authority, like, we must have savings out of the Board of Health salary stipends, because there's been vacancies. Like, do we have the authority to pay it out of those lines? You know?
Not until May 1st.
Well, not until
If
May
they have
1st.
expense
If they have
items,
expenses.
if
yeah.
they have, if they can carry, like Mr. Ferry earlier talked about,
Oh, right, town meeting.
once the signed bylaw gets certified, he's got enough float, we call it, this early in the fiscal year, to carry the expenses at least until the fall town meeting. Perhaps the health board has similar float in the expense portion of their budgets.
Maybe they
But
did it
in the salary portions, it's only, May and June,
right.
that you can do that.
I'm willing, I feel the Board of Health may pay the bill for us, because I'm sure they also want the best people that they can
Yeah.
get for the job.
Is that something that can be discussed with them?
We can work that out. We'll get the job descriptions squared away first, and then we'll go on a step-by-step basis about advertising.
Okay.
I think the Mass Health Officers Association, that's a very active
Yes.
group, and if you had to choose one, I think you just said it yourself, Mr. Chairman, know that, if you're gonna choose one, take Mass Health
Yes.
Officers Association, for sure. But we'll talk about affordability and how we can find the money
Okay.
on the, you know, on the next step.
All right, thank you. Thank you for letting me revisit that item.
No, thank you. That's, that's a really good point. We do need to reach out to as many folks as we can, and, we want the best candidate for us, right? For Dayton. Okay, so resignations from the Dayton Conservation Commission. Dear Concom and Selectmen, I regret to inform you that we don't read them anymore. I'll entertain a motion to,
I'll make a motion that we accept, Jason LaChance's resignation from the Conservation Committee.
okay, I'll step down second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, approval of the warrants. I'd like to make a motion to approve the warrants paid through July 18, 2024, 3A-25 in the amount of $117,333.82, and 3B-25 in the amount of $108,907.15.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
And aye, motion carries. I'd like to make a motion to pay the warrants through July 25th, 2024, 4A-25, in the amount of $129,938.42, and 4B-25 in the amount of $384,164.23.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay. Public input? Okay. I'd like to entertain motions for the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen regular meeting minutes of May 28th, 2024.
Okay, I'll step down a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I'll make a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen special meeting minutes of June 5th, 2024.
I step down a second.
And then aye.
All in favor? Aye, I'm sorry.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen regular meeting minutes of June 12th, 2024.
I'll step down a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Lastly, I'd like to make a motion to approve of the Board of Selectmen regular meeting minutes of June 26th, 2024.
I'll step down a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we enter into executive session under Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions, or conduct negotiations with non-union personnels. Administrative Assistant to the Board of Selectmen and Town Administrator, Executive Assistant Human Resource Coordinator.
I'd like to step down in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. So at this point, we're gonna enter into executive session. Thank you, everybody. We will not be returning to open session.